dropping that knowledge on you.
I could not make this shit up.
With Kev Nash.
Oh, Hercules.
And DJ Killa Kev.
Uh-oh. Let me tell you, boys, you can't make that shit up.
The Inside. Real deal, straight up.
Are you crazy?
Hottest stories from the world of hip-hop.
This is Ludacris.
It's the big boss, Rick Ross.
What up? It's your boy, Young Jeezy. This is 50 Cent.
Sports.
Some of those dunks were the most incredible dunks I've ever seen.
And what's popping in the DYT.
I couldn't make this shit up. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. I'm sad that I lack the talent to make this shit up.
Here's Kev Nash and DJ Killa Kev.
Back at it again. You Can't Make This Shit Up podcast, episode 2.
Yeah, man.
They ain't the feds ain't come for us.
Hey, not yet. Yeah, we still go. It's still go time.
Yeah, man, it's go time. Episode 2. Welcome back. Of course, it's Kev Nash holding it down. DJ Killa Kev.
Yeah.
We
Glad
back
to
at
be
it
here.
again, man. I want to thank everybody who downloaded the podcast, listened to the joint. Shouts out to the homie out there, Cam. Let me make sure I get his name right so I don't mess up your name, homeboy. Cam Hardy, man.
Yeah.
Shouts out to him, man. Showed us mad love out there. Shared it. And if you want to share it, like it, download it, listen to it while you at the gym or shoot. Listen to it while you at work, man. Help you get through that work day,
Yeah,
man.
nothing. This is a Monday morning type of podcast, believe me.
Yeah, we wrap up the news of the week. We get you ready for the next week, too, man. So, man, where you want to start, man? Where you want to start with this, dude?
Yo, I'm salty how cold it is outside in April, man. What is this, like the April 9th, 10th? What's today's date?
Today is April 10th, man.
10th.
Quick story, man. I hear this every year. Every single year, no doubt. And I'm going to hear it tomorrow. Tomorrow is my birthday. So every year on my birthday, my mom calls me, as moms are prone to do for their kids. And she says, you know, it was April 10th. It was 65 degrees.
Yeah.
I just finished taking your brother over your grandmother's house, and I was running to grab some fish from the fish place, blah, 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 blah. And I felt this pain, and then my water broke. I had to call your grandmother. She came and picked me up. We went to the hospital. Your dad came, and by the time you were born, we were looking outside. It was 4 inches of snow on the ground. So every single year, I got to hear about how it was cold and snowing when I was born in the spring. And today is no different, man.
Right.
Ohio, man.
Is it always cold this time of the year and nobody
Always.
notices?
Yeah, man.
Except for you.
People think like, yo, it's springtime. It's about to be love. Nah, man. One day y'all going to realize it don't get hot in April until like mid-May.
Yeah.
Like about
Yeah.
May 15th, 16th. That's when you come out.
bank on it. Yeah, you can bank on it.
Shorts and sundresses and all that stuff,
Can't
man.
wait for those.
Yeah, buddy. Sundress
It's
season.
it's the most wonderful time of the year, man.
Right. Man. So I was reading about this guy.
Uh-oh.
His dad. He sold over 5,000 comic books of his comic book collection to help send his daughter to school. Al Sanders is his name.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you being a parent, I'm not a parent.
Right.
You got 2 little beautiful girls and another one on the way.
Yeah, man. I'm getting punished for my Army days. But continue.
What have you collected over the years, man, that you will be willing to part with, like to
of my kids?
to help,
or I mean, like something that I've.
Yeah, something you collected over the years, man. Like comic books. I don't know about you, man, but like I always read them because a homeboy in our neighborhood, his stepfather used to collect comics, and we used to go down there and read them all the time. So I'm familiar with the comic books, man.
Yeah.
And like CDs, I used to collect CDs all the time, man. But just to think about a father giving up something that he's probably been collecting since he's like 16 years old, but
He gave him up to help pay for his child's health care.
no, send her to college.
Oh, send her to college. Okay. Ooh.
That's a lot of comics, man.
What was her grades like? Was she?
I mean, shoot, she looking at some Ivy Leaguers.
Okay, well.
Might be a good investment in the long run.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, when you start having kids, it becomes more about them than you anyway. You've kind of, you've lived a life, you've done this, done that. Some maybe left turns you made where you should have made it right. Some things that you would have done different. So college, me per se, my story, I went straight from right from high school. I worked at the Salem Mall.
Mm-hmm.
I did that for a year. I worked in
R.I.P. to the Salem Mall.
Yeah, man, that was my spot, man. Anybody from Trotwood, we used to go there for lunch, man. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, worked there in the jewelry store up until I went to the Army. And I went to the Army. So from that point on, college didn't come for me till after the Army. and I kind of went through my GI Bill in a way that I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I would have just went to a 4-year school, got the bachelor's.
Mm-hmm.
I went to some trade schools, some tech schools, just to be going to school, collecting that money,
Right.
living off of that. That's how I was living, you know. So for me to be a parent and my kid come to that point where a super dope college that she want to go to that's good for her is available, it's like, could I give up this DJ gear? Could I sell all it? Like, woo!
Or you gonna have to be DJing a lot more parties, dog.
It's like RIP to the DJ game. And like he just pretty much RIP this collection. Like, this is what I was saving it for. So,
Or
you know,
what
'cause
about-
like me, I collected baseball cards. I was really big into that as a kid. More baseball than anything else. But like, I still have like my 1990s, you know, Topps cards in the hard cases, you know, like I still got all that stuff at mom's house. So it's like, I've been holding on to it just to hold on to it. But like, what do you hold on to it for?
Right. What are you holding on
Eventually,
to?
you're going to either lose it, it's going to get damaged, it's going to
Lose it
get
in a
lost.
move.
Yeah, it's going to get misplaced, you know. So it's like, you spend all that time collecting it. I know for me, I'm thinking at that age, I'm like, maybe when I'm 30, this will help me get a house, you know?
Yup.
Well,
Yup.
hey, I'm 30 now. But I'm like, you know, I'm not ready to use
Not
it
ready
for
to
that.
cash
Yeah.
them out.
Maybe when I'm 45, 50, this will help me retire, you know? So it's like, you don't even know what you're going to be needing it for. But then holding on to all that long and then lose it is like, what was you holding on to it for? So if you're ready to part with it, cash it in per se, hey, cash
See
it in.
what happened. That's
Yeah.
funny you talk about that because I was at home in Cleveland over the weekend, man, and you know, my brother was over at my mom's house and we was
Yo,
going
hold on
through-
real quick before
Yeah.
you get into that. I just pulled up, right? And I'm looking on Facebook. I hit you like I'm here.
Uh-huh.
I look on Facebook, and the first thing that pops up is a post from you. It says an hour ago from Cleveland Heights.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, there's no way he's here right now. There's no way. And then you respond back with bet. I'm like, yo, is he punking me right now? I'm like, what's happening?
I'm in the city. I'm in the
What's
city.
happening?
Shouts out to Instagram. They didn't update stuff because remember you used to add the tag on the location. You could
Yeah.
only add to like where you are, but now they can you can do it wherever.
Right.
Yeah, man.
I was like, yo, there's no way he's back
He
by
was about to
now.
be
I
like,
know that drive.
Right. It's a hump, and I definitely did that.
But sorry, go
yesterday.
ahead. You was at the
Oh, you
fam's
good?
house.
I was at the crib, and me and my brother, we like, man, talking to our mom about, you know what I'm saying, decluttering. Like, yo,
Yeah.
we done got you got a smart TV, you got Apple TV, you got this, that. It's about condensing everything.
Yeah.
So
Why do you still need a DVD
Yeah.
racks?
DVDs, Blu-rays. Like, look, man. Like, well, what if something happens? What if this goes away? Well, there will be another technology to replace it. And
Quickly.
then yes,
Because
And-
no one's going to let that money sit.
yes. And then she says, well, what about all these damn basketball cards? I was like, oh, them collector's items. And then my brother pulled up his Larry Johnson rookie card. Like, man, I just remember the feeling to open up a pack of cards and, you know what I'm saying, hoping you get that Michael Jordan, hoping you get, shoot, I got a Kenny Anderson. I remember I just think Kenny Anderson, like, oh, man, I seen him in college basketball. He crossed Bobby Hurley over so nasty.
Yeah, I got some prime time card. I got Isaiah Thomas rookie card.
Woo!
I got Shaq, Penny, just all from that era. I'm trying to think of who else. I know I got some I got Kyle Ripken rookie card.
Oh.
Like I got like some stuff that
got
was
some heat.
that was like passed down to me.
Okay.
You know, so it's like my grandfather, he died when I was probably like 10, 11 years old, but we was real close. In that age, you really find something to get passionate about age. So that was cards, and me and him, that was our little pastime. When I go over there, everybody else in the kitchen cooking, me and him in the back going through cards, just kind of kicking it.
See
So
what joints you got. Yeah,
when
man.
he thought I was ready to hold on to one, boom, he passed me a gem. So
Yeah, man. When it's something like that, man, I couldn't see myself giving it up.
Yeah,
Now,
I
something
know. That's
something
tough.
that I paid for, like, whatever, I slang
Yeah.
it. But like as I saw my I got a Magic Johnson MVP card. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, okay, this is gonna be the one. Every time I go home, I look at it like, man, I'm not even gonna look up and see how much it costs or how much it's worth. But man, if I see the right number, I'm slanging that boy.
The one thing I've always, because I got I think it's 4 or 6 pack of Dream Team cards, the 92 Dream Team that aren't even open.
Okay.
Like I had a whole bunch. So I opened some of them, so I know what's in there. And this majority of the lineups, but I got some that's fresh in the pack that's sealed. And it's like like you say, it's like some of those, God forbid, a chunk of them pass away at a time, and that's kind of how it gets boiling and it gets kind of circulated again. Then you're like, yo, this is a prime time to cash this in.
Right. Like, are trading cards still a thing? Like,
man,
today?
I think they are. I just think it's more so like groups of people. Like some people get into, stamps or shoes, or stuff like that. It's just like that little culture that you kind of follow. I know, like, I watched the Pawn Star show a lot on the History Channel, and like, you'll still people come in there with sports memorabilia, and they had the sports guy, the expert come in, and it's like it's still doing something for people to still be in business. So.
Right, because I just think about like how we was talking about with technology. Is it still a valuable business just because, do people, like, for instance, we used to buy CDs, and I remember opening a CD, see who produced it, see what sample it was, and now it's just like a straight digital download. You don't know who made the beat unless the DJ or the producer's tag is on it. You know what I mean?
It was funny you talk about that. Just last night, I just got in the mood to like search for artwork for some of this MP3s I have in my DJ stuff, so that when I'm DJing, the artwork, it just shows up on my screen. Really no purpose to no one. Just takes up space on my screen, but it's like I can see the old Outkast, when I'm dropping something, or I can see the Black Album Jay-Z pop up, and I can get into a mindset, So for me, because like you say, at our age, we still got the CD books at home, the big boys, the bigger your CD book was, it was more almost how more of a G you was.
Yes.
Like I got the 200 page, man. I got 1,000 page at home. Like this thing is as big as a stove. Like they had some big CD books back in the day.
And put it in them big ass totes and had to love that boy, man.
That's when I started DJ. I didn't start with vinyl. I started just right after the military, so that was like 05, 06. So it was just back. It was just burning CD. That's OPZ, man. That was the gateway in. OPZ let me get his CD books off the strength of just showing him love, coming to his gigs and learning. Built a relationship with him. Boom. He said, "Yo, it's Sunday. I don't spend again until Friday. Go." I'm just downloading all night. Just
how long did it take you to get the book?
That whole week. It took me the whole week, and that was like 5 hours of sleep. Doing it first thing in the morning all day long because I had to label them, so you had to listen to it. It wasn't no Shazam,
right?
It wasn't no easy way to like, what song?
What song is this?
So you had to like take it. It took forever, forever. But that was the grind I had to be on, to get where I'm at now. So like I put in work with that kind of stuff. I wasn't lugging crates and breaking my back, but I still was putting in hours and hours at the craft. So.
That's crazy, man. Speaking of respect for the craft and everything, all right, NWA, they went into the Rock and Roll Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's dope.
And I'm from Cleveland. That's where the Rock Hall is, and I still never been there. So I definitely need to get up there once all their stuff is.
I've only been there once, but don't remember
it. Because NWA is one of my favorite groups of all time.
Yeah.
Now, Gene Simmons, from Kiss, Makeup, whatever, tongue out.
Right.
He said rappers do not belong in the Rock Hall because they do not play an instrument.
How did rock and roll start? It's like that goes back to rhythm and blues. Like
I just think
all
that's
that
just
was
a hater
together
move,
back
man.
in the of course.
I just think it's plain and simple, just hate, because for hip hop and rap to be around basically since 79.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All I remember is thinking or hearing about how they thought rap was just a fad and it'll come and go, kind of like disco.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's 2016, man.
Yo, it hasn't gone.
This genre of music ain't going nowhere, man.
That's what I think about a lot when I talk to some of my friends. It's like, I feel like we're supposed to be getting to an age where we don't want to listen to rap no more. Like the new rap, like it's starting to boil our blood a little bit when some of this stuff comes out.
Those people.
But then it's like, what are we listening to? Like when we were young and Little John, the noises he was making, the beats at that time, people looked at that music like, like some of the like 90s rap fans looked at that music like this stuff is corny. Like it was corny then. It was weird, it was different, and people didn't know how to accept it, and it's just grown to now.
It's just growing, man. So, what people gotta realize, especially about hip hop, man, the music is always gonna stay young, man.
Yeah.
It's always about the young people.
I'm learning that more and more with the avenues I'm in with DJing. I'm doing proms more, Sweet 16. You know, I'm growing with these kids from doing their Sweet 16 to now, you know, I'm getting asked to do this party for graduation, and the family done booked me for a wedding. It's like I'm taking it to other avenues, but some of the music I have to get, it's like, who did what? You know, I'm downloading this stuff like this. Woo.
Yeah, I mean, even some of the music, you know what I'm saying, that we play on the station, man, like, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
But then, you know, just like anything with music, you hear it enough, it's catchy enough.
Yo,
you learn it, and you be like, I can't believe I'm singing this.
That's how this world was built, man, off of, you know, marketing. You know, if you market something and instill it into someone's mindset so long, it's like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You know, like,
You're right.
you know what that means. You know that, hey, McDonald's, you know, like.
and people like, it's amazing, especially to me. You know, I hit that request line. People still want to hear that Whip Nay Nay, man.
Ooh, really?
Still want to hear, like, yeah, I want to hear that Silento. I'm thinking to myself, like, one, wasn't that a fad? Two, wasn't that a year ago? But I always got to remind myself, man, like, most people don't like new stuff, man.
Yeah.
We say we like, a lot of people say they like new stuff, but most of them don't, man. Most people ain't like a DJ or somebody that's just really into music where, you know what I'm saying, they number one goal is to find the newest song from Fab or J. Cole. Like, oh yeah, J. Cole got a new joint. Let me send that out on my Facebook so I can be like the first one to be like, yo, I heard the new joint, y'all.
That's exactly what I talk about with some DJ friends, man. It's like everybody feel like they can be a DJ. They go somewhere and hear someone who they consider whack, you know, or they don't like, but they don't understand. You have to know how to rock hip hop, rock new, rock old, rock, you know, a 90s set, rock a top 40 set, rock I did a country wedding last year. I'm talking country. It was country and a little bit of top 40. Like, the farthest I went hip hop was probably a Drake song, you know.
Really?
Like, just hold on, I'm going home. Like, that's probably as far as it went. You know, it was
How the hell did you pull that off?
Yo, I'm just a fan of music. Like, you know, I think I grew, you know, I'm mixed. My mom's white. My dad's side of the family I never was really close with, so I was raised around white people, bottom line. So, you know, I grew up around country music. I grew up around the Garth Brooks fans and the James Taylor, one of my favorite artists. Michael McDonald, one of my favorite artists. Like,
everybody love Michael McDonald.
Yeah. Like, I can, like, I'm that guy that after a DJing at the hottest club playing the newest songs, that ride home, it got to be Michael McDonald. It got to be I got like a white boy mix of like all that like Motown era, late 80s mix of just all that kind of music. So sometimes I zone out just to that. Like, I'm a fan of music. So.
Right. And I'm the same way, because people always like, you know, you got your presettings in your car or whatever. Of course, I got a lot to where I work, Hot 129. And, you know what I'm saying, another preset is the classical music station in town. And, like, I listen to classical music on the drive when I get off work. Like, if it's either that or I'm listening to sports talk. Like, it's like I listen to music all day for work, and then when I get home, I'm always looking for new music. So for that, you know what I'm saying, 15, 20-minute drive to the crib, I'm listening to classical music or sports talk.
That's where I think radio and DJs are really similar, because people don't realize how much Monday through Friday you spend. You get home, you download a new, you making sure you got the new stuff and not just the new songs for the 18 and up night. You got to have a new, you know, 92.1 music, I call it. You know, you got to have to keep up with the Maxwell's coming out with stuff. You got to keep up with this and that. So it's like, you got to put in some time. That stuff that doesn't appear on your computer, you got to go get it. You know?
Definitely. And the crazy, that's why, like, when I was a kid, like, my mom and my grandmother, especially my grandmother, she listened to classical music. And, you know, on them clean up Saturdays at the crib, moms would be blasting that classical music, man.
I still be on that. I still be on that.
And she just would like, when you hear it, you just wake up. She on that today. For real.
Again.
And clean up the crib. Homeboys coming to the spot. they hear the music, like, oh, them niggas in
He-
there cleaning up
he's
the
done.
house. They'll be out in a couple
He's
hours
done.
until,
Let's
you know
get
what I'm
this
saying?
game started.
I took the music appreciation classes, and like I knew some of the music off rip, and then until like I listen to it now, and it's like I can't believe that, especially at that age. Now I'll be like, oh yeah, I need to hear that.
Yeah,
I need to
it
turn
take you
it
to
on.
a place that like that's how it is. Like that's how I look at going to the gym for me. I've been trying to get active more, lose some of this weight. But that sauna and steam room, I don't care how tired I am from a workout or what I did. Sitting in there, you know, sometimes there be people in there talking, getting on your nerves. But for the most part, you can catch a 5-10 minute span of just silence. You know,
Right.
and it's like I listen to music all day. I talk to people all day. I'm on my phone all day. It's like I'm just you're just stimulated all day long. It's like I need that 10 minutes just to sit there and close my eyes and just breathe, like just chill. Like
Right.
that's how I like keep my sanity. Sometimes it's like just let it, that 10 minutes is everything. So.
Think about this, man. Think about this. In today's society, man, with this little device right here, a phone, man,
Yeah.
we are literally connected all day, every
To whatever
day.
you want to be connected to.
To anything, man.
That's the key.
I mean, think
Like,
about it. Like, okay, when we was kids, we had the, you know what I'm saying, the homeboys, pops who had the Playboy magazines.
Yeah.
This your Playboy magazine
Yo.
times a million
Yeah.
right here on your phone.
That's 6:30 wake up sometimes. That's prime time searching right there. You
Right.
are within seconds. You know, you watching what then you can be in your category of choice. You know, it's like
And actually, Pornhub is allowing streaming from your cellular device to your phone now, by the way.
Yo.
For anybody that's out there that wanted to know, you
Yo.
have that news too.
Right.
But like, you know what I'm saying? You on IG, you on Facebook, you on Twitter, you connected with people all the time. People, you in group chats. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? All day. And if you forget your phone at work, forget your phone at home when you head to work.
you will be late to work to go get it. You will turn back around your car, no matter how far along you are on that work drive. You
gotta have it.
It's like I cannot leave this at home all day.
Is
It's
it
like you
is
said-
it an addiction? You think it's an
Man.
addiction, or you just think like, man, this is the way the world is now? And just think about it. Your daughters,
Yeah.
this is technology that is gonna be obsolete by the time they are age.
Oh yeah, they've been unlocking my iPhone for years, like putting in the password, swiping, know how to open this app, close these background apps. Like they work the iPhone. Like they go to a school district where Apple product is like all around them.
Mhm.
You know, so they got MacBooks to work on during the computer lab. They got iPads to help teach them, and like they just all day long. So to me, it's just a fine line though. Because when I'm traveling or out of town, it's so dope to be able to like, I want to see my kids. Boom,
Right.
we're having a face-to-face conversation. I can see their reactions. I can make faces with them. Feel like I'm there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like you say, it's the first thing you do in the morning and the last thing you do before you go to bed. It's like you just always using it and always dependent on it. Like I keep a lot of, health information, family members, social security. Like I keep a lot of things in my phone that are like, you cannot lose this.
Right,
Like, this
absolutely.
cannot be misplaced.
So like I was thinking to myself, all right, when are the times I'm not on this damn thing?
Yeah.
It's only 2 times: when I'm asleep or when I'm in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm watching a movie at home, I still got it.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me? So let's just say roughly, I'm getting 8 hours of sleep. So it's only 8 hours a day that I don't have this damn thing doing this.
Right.
That's kind of scary, man.
And if you roll over and don't know what time it is, you don't look for a clock no more.
Right.
Where my phone? What time? That bright light. Boom. I forgot about that white party last night. Let me see if so and so was out. I'm up for a sec. It's like that's how it goes. So,
And then what making it worse? I got a Apple Watch. So now, like, if it ain't like that, I could just.
yeah. How you like that? By the way,
I love it, dog.
I
love it.
I've been sniffing around like,
Yeah,
that might be
man.
the next move because
Yeah.
I'm Apple everything.
It
man.
keep you updated.
Yeah.
It keep
Exactly.
everything too.
Exactly.
All your apps are right
Can't
here.
make this stuff up,
You
man.
can't make this up, man. And me and my wife talk about this all the time, and it's just like because, you know what I'm saying, my little nephew, Mav, his birthday's coming up. So, you know what I'm saying, we Snapchat with, not Snapchat, but Tango with the little dude. Got to see the little dude and everything like that. But it's like, man, like you said, it was great for technology to see everything. But damn, like, I want to, like, be disconnected for a minute. Like, I feel bad that, you know what I'm saying, me, my brother, my mom, sister-in-law, wife, we at my mom's house, and literally everybody had a phone in their hand.
Silence.
For a split. Because if little dude's if he wasn't asleep, we would, you know what I'm saying, be interacting with him, but he was knocked out. So we literally like this, all of it. Yeah. It's just crazy to think about because, you know, we didn't have that when we were kids. So, you know what I'm saying, we actually had to call somebody and talk to somebody as opposed to it's like you said.
The closest we got, like, I can remember my high school girlfriend, man, me and her, we had, you know, the pages was hot then. So you had little codes that you could send and would mean certain things. And it's like, yo, I'll be home in 5 minutes, or call me in 5 minutes. And then at 4 minutes, I'm grabbing the phone, calling the information line so I can listen to the time and weather so that way it can beep in versus ring so my mom wouldn't hear the phone. Like it was a process you had to go through. It wasn't just like, let me holler at her real quick, see if she up. You know, it was like
that's
you
real.
had to page him, you had to wait, you had to have a plan in place.
That planning. I remember, like, shouts out to my homeboy Damon. We in high school, and like especially in middle school, that was my right hand man. Like, he was a year older than me, and he you know what I'm saying, he was out there. You know what I'm saying? He did everything first.
Right.
Got some homes first. Got everything.
Shot to shot smoke.
Got everything first. He was always the person I would go to before I would go to my brother, because my brother's 6 years older than me, and he'd be like, your little ass nigga, you don't need to be doing that. Yeah. So I'll go to my man's like, look, man, I need some help.
Right.
Like, coach me through this.
Right.
Be on that 3-way game. Or I'll be at his house talking on the phone to a chick.
Yeah, that 3-way change back in the day used to be like, that was a group chat. I mean, you had to make sure you had 5 people that had 3-way so they could 3-way to the next person so everybody can be on the phone. You 6, 7 people, that was group chat.
Did your moms ever interrupt it, like, by calling the operator?
My mom, I think sometimes, as a kid, like, you think you got it all down pat. Your plan is in place, but you're not thinking about how loud you laughing at something or how much noise you making in the kitchen doing stuff to where a parent waking up like, it's 1:00 Saturday. I hear him talking. Who he talking to? He on the phone. Like, they can figure it out.
Right.
Pick the phone up. Kevin. Uh-oh. Everybody click. Everybody hanging up because, it wasn't nothing to get at another kid's another parent's kids like, yo, your son is acting up. That was still, I had neighbors that they told me to get out their yard, and I kept messing with them. They had tried to spank my butt and tell my mom. Like, it wasn't like they were scared to talk to anybody.
Right.
How times are, unfortunately, now in most places. So
that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like we're saying, man, you turn into, you know what I'm saying, that guy. You know what I'm saying? Those people that we think about like, oh, man, back in my day, it was like this. But it's like with technology the way it is, man, it's hard not to think about that type of stuff, man, because, like, it's literally people that you don't even talk to.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, I was finding myself, like, scrolling through all my contacts or whatever. And it's just like, man, when the last time I actually talked to him?
Yeah.
Talked to her? Like, man, like, we came up together, like, but, you know what I'm saying, we stay in contact because of this device right here, man.
But I look at, too, crazy. Like, on the flip of that, it's like, most Monday mornings, or, the Monday after a payday, I find myself, on my phone, paying my phone bill.
Mm-hmm.
Looking up the DP&L account number and log in so I can log in to see what DP boom paid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's needed and a necessity for me to keep me organized in life at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and then the same thing I look at too, I work at the VA hospital, and I think about sometimes like phone numbers. Like if I lost this phone, I could call mom's house. I could probably call my best friend. You know, you probably, depending on how long they've had their phone.
Right.
I got some friends that's been Sprint since 2000, you know, so they got the same number, for a minute. So, like, some of those are locked in, but most people, if I happen to, you know, fall off the face of the earth for 2 months, can't remember my log, like, it's a process to get back connected.
Mm-hmm.
You really fall off. Like, I don't have nobody's number. I can't holler at so-and-so, a close friend that we chop you per se. I can't, damn, what's Kev Nash number? Like, I don't know your number, but you locked in my phone.
Right.
So it's like,
That's crazy
it's
because
crazy
at the station,
how much you need it.
Yeah, at the station, we're here, you know, and internet was down.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, inside information about the radio business, all the music is stored on computers.
Right.
So, you know, whatever. We can play the music. That's not a problem. But we also got to do commercials. And how we get those commercials is, you know, obviously the companies email our sales staff, but no internet, no commercials. So we can't log in there to do commercials. So our production manager, he's like, oh, yeah, email's down. I'll be back at 1 o'clock because he can't send them out for people to do them. So we just have to sit here and wait. And then once you wait until like 2 o'clock, when you normally getting your commercial stuff by 11 in the morning, you know what I'm saying? You got some free time. You run into the production studio, knock out a commercial, and then he starts sending them out. And then you normally doing like three or four in a day. And then that 3 or 4 or 5 needs to be done in an hour.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying, you got to multiply that by 5 people trying to get into 3 studios.
Right.
It's a fight at the door. Like
that same story that's how I envision this whole Touch ID technology going. Like, I think it's going to get to where businesses can be like, you know, you don't have your work email on your phone. Some people do though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can get stuff done. It's like, you know,
I don't.
You can sign this with your thumb. Boom. You can send this with this to this group. Like, there's still going to be ways, I think, to connect to where these things are not. They're going to be so a part of you that it's almost like everybody's going to have one. Like, no one's going to be stealing them.
Right.
Like, right. I know for me, like, if I see someone drop their phone, I go above and beyond what I really have to do to be like, hey, yo, your phone, bro.
You gonna need this.
Yeah, because that thank you gonna be sincere. Like, bro, I appreciate you. Yeah, because we've all been there. We're like, yo, where's my? And for a second, you like, yo, I'm in Florida. Yo, where's my phone? Like, this can get bad quick.
Right, right.
So,
and like, you know, even like you walk around, you do that quick tap.
Yeah, you got wallet, keys, phone, baby. Bye.
3 essentials to life. All right, so Kobe, his last game is
like,
on
what, 3
Wednesday.
more games left, right? 3 more.
3 more games. Now, shouts out to my homie Mike Wilson, Jimmy Mack, and my cousin D. Big Kobe Bryant fan.
Shout out to my cousin D, too. He a big LA fan.
And shouts out to my homie Tim. He's a super Kobe Bryant fan. I hate Kobe Bryant. Plain and simple. But, reluctantly, have to salute the man. He's one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
No question about it. So Mamba Day is on Wednesday. His last game, man. What is Kobe going to do for his last game? He going to do what he did with the All-Star game and just go out there, show the people some love, and sit back and let the love come into him?
Yeah, man.
Kobe, or is he going to give us one last Kobe Bryant?
He going to give us 2, maybe 3 dope fadeaways. He going to give us a 1, you know, rocking chair, the stutter step. Just one of them Kobe-ness shots. But I don't think it's going to be more than that. Like, I think he's going to just ride this wave, man. Like, one thing I saw for me, I'm a huge sports fan, all sports. I'm sitting here watching the Masters right now. But one thing I saw, man, that really put it in perspective for me, it was a picture of Kobe guarding Dale Curry and Cody guarding Steph Curry.
Ugh.
It's like, yo, he's been in the league for a minute. You know, it's like...
It's a long time.
Yeah, the wear and tear. Like, I look at just at a professional level, not at the YMCA rec level where you can still smoke and still drop 35 on somebody because you still got. We talking professional level, the grind of the road. You got a hotel bed. I've been in some hotel beds where I woke up like, shit, that bed wasn't for me, you know. So it's like all that you deal with. It's like, yo, he's got some time. You have to respect the years,
right?
20 years.
20 like, think about that, dude.
People get pension for that. Like people work hard. People work for that number. Like to say I've had a career. Like that's just amazing. 20 years of professional sports, not
at its highest level.
Yeah, not the high school grind, not the AAU grind, He's been doing this for a long time, nonstop,
busting ass, taking names. So salute to Kobe.
I've always respect Kobe. Anybody that's not a Lakers fan, Kobe done gave you about 10 of them. So you definitely gotta have respect for the guy. But you just be like, yo, God, cut it out, Kobe.
Yeah, man. And it's just like just thinking about, my cousin D. He always shoots me trash talk about how great Kobe is, and what I'm saying, he thinks he's the second best player of all time. I was like, that's a whole nother argument.
Oh,
but
yeah.
He'll shoot me the YouTube clips of Michael Jordan and Kobe, like, yo, this the closest thing we ever gonna get to Mike. And the hater in me be like, ain't no other closest thing to Mike.
Yeah.
Mike is it, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But when you see the fadeaway, you see the drives, you see the up and unders, you see the dunks, it's like, dude, this dude was,
yeah.
I mean, this dude, like, is a clone of Michael Jordan, man.
Yeah. There's tapes out there I've seen where they show Jordan's move and Kobe's move side by side, and they're identical. And I'm not talking just the drive to the right, hard step back to the, not one of them. I'm talking like 7, 8, 9 different moves that are just.
It's crazy.
Yeah, the spin, the head fake, the up and under, like all that, like. Shouts
out to the people that do that stuff, that editing for YouTube, man,
yeah,
because
that's work.
That's a lot of work. But I mean, it's a salute to Kobe Bryant, because I mean, what other player to model your game after than Michael Jordan, and to be able to actually do it.
That's what I'm afraid of with this whole Steph Curry wave, man, because it's not right to pull up from 32 feet. I don't care what age bracket, how dominant you are in what league. That's not proficient basketball.
Shout out to my homeboy AP. He coaches his son's basketball, and he said the same thing. He's like, man, I love Steph Curry, but he said basically the same thing Mark Jackson says. Like, he's bad for basketball because now first thing people doing is pulling.
Yeah, like
on
a fast break with you and another defender. Anyone that's ever played basketball is you go to the hole.
Go to the hole.
You don't stop 3 steps from half court and yank it with no one down there for a rebound. It's like, what?
Dudes is sprinting to that elbow three.
Yeah, like people aren't even crashing. Like, the whole figure 8 drill.
Mm-hmm.
Like that figure 8 drill is basketball. But now, if you were to do that figure 8 drill, you're going to throw it to open space because that man's going to be 7, 8 feet back at the 3-point line with his hands up. Like, yeah, ayo.
Three ball.
Ball.
That's crazy because, I mean,
I just fear that, like, some of these kids, man, like, I fear, like, when my girls are in high school and I'm going to a high school game to support whatever, like, everybody going to be Kevin Durant's and smaller, and everybody's going to be just shooting, and they're gonna be big men. They're gonna have that one big man, of course, but it's like basketball is gonna people gonna be shooting 35, 40 shots, man, and that's what I'm afraid of.
I mean, I think it's always a room for a dominant big man. Like, look at Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah,
he said he wishes that Draymond Green would guard him because he would punish him. Now, Hassan Whiteside ain't nowhere near a Shaquille O'Neal. But I gotta believe if it was another Shaquille O'Neal dropped on this planet, he would destroy.
Yeah.
I would give it to him every time.
Yeah, every time.
Like you really gonna try to let Draymond Green check Shaq? Draymond Green is 6'7".
Yeah.
Shaq is 7'3".
And Draymond Green struggled to be a really good powerful forward at Michigan State. Like he
Right.
was trying to venture out into them jump shots anyway. You know, it's like in the paint, it's just it doesn't add up. I don't care what move you got. If somebody's 7'3",
And that's part of why. That's why I like Golden State. Shouts out to my homie Jay Rand. He's the only true Warriors fan I ever met in my life.
like really got Warriors stories. Like
Yeah.
those are the ones I respect too.
I told him, I was like, hey man, congratulations on the trip. I think y'all gonna make a good run for it this year. Definitely, shoot, they might get that break the record. I was like, man, but I still gotta believe that the Spurs are gonna go to the finals, man. I gotta believe at 2 7-footers down low is gonna beat 2 jump shooters. Like the game of basketball is about tall dudes.
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta believe that, right? Or am I just crazy?
I mean, that's the era we was raised in.
I gotta believe it. But it's been like that since basketball was started. Oh, I'm gonna get the tallest dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. The first pick was always the tallest dude. The second pick was probably your best friend, and then the third pick was the dude you was trying to just not act like you wanted to pick. That really was probably the dopest one out there. Like we've all been there in the moment. So it's like,
Man, for me,
try to
it's
keep
just
that
gotta
gym and build your power squad around that gym. So big men are definitely going to be needed, but I just think everybody's going to be, pulling up like 15-footers and out. Like it ain't going to be no people are going to miss game winning layups. People are going to
heard it here first.
Yeah, people are going to be missing game winning layups. Like that era of basketball is coming, and that's what's crazy to me, because cats ain't working on their left more than they working on that three from the corner.
That short porch three.
Like, come on,
That's
man.
scary to think about, man.
It is, but
when you cross somebody over and then the big man retreat to somebody that's open for a three because they think you're gonna kick it, and you smoke it.
Right. I can remember one of the dopest moves of my era was the crossover, but before you even made another move, you that dope underhand pass. So you cross up and you throwing it off to somebody that's cutting to the hole. Like, people are just spreading out now. Like, people aren't. LeBron crashed the hole when he want to. Aside from that, D-Wade, he'll crash the hole, but D-Wade had that super Euro step back for that 10, 12-footer. It was like, he'll go hard, but he'll have them, but then, let me shoot this.
I'm going to shoot this. Is Scat scared of contact, or they just want that money ball?
I think cats just want that moment to put their hands in the air. And, just do their special move, Like,
man, it's
shine,
crazy.
man.
It's a different game for sure.
Because I was the
man.
basketball player on the team that was diving for the ball, crashing into the bleachers, back all messed up. I was the hustle player.
Hustle man. Ain't everybody need a hustle man
definitely.
on them streets,
But
man.
I can still hit that 3 ball.
Yeah, man, but sad news, man. Shoot, Will Smith,
Yo,
former Buckeye.
Man, this is crazy because that's the era of Buckeyes I really follow hard because of a high school, friend of mine, Will Allen, went to Trotwood up until senior year. Then went to Wayne and Purcell through Ohio State. But like that's the era you really, when you got a friend that's there, you watching all that game. So it's like just to hear how dumb it was, man. It's like
Very dumb, man.
senseless.
And it goes back to what you said earlier. First thing I did, hit snooze, was popping on the gram, was popping on Facebook, and I see Will Smith, and I was like, huh? So I read the whole story. It's like, man, it's kind of nutty, man. Like, first thing, saying shot and killed. I'm thinking like, oh man, he was out at the club.
Yeah, that's the part for me that sucks. You thinking what was he doing dumb?
Yeah.
That's just where the mindset we at. It's like
got into it with some cats at the club.
Please don't let it be nothing racial. Like you start going into these rants within yourself because that's just where the world is. That shows you how messed up it is. But yeah, man, he was literally out with the fam. Got rear-ended by a Hummer. And must have gotten out. Words were exchanged. They said 6 to 8 shots went off. Wife got hit twice in the leg. He was pronounced dead at the scene. It's
That's
like
crazy, man. You
34 years old.
You go out for a night on the town with the wifey, go get some food.
And I can remember like a Hard Knocks or it's something out there where they like introduced Will Smith and his family.
Really?
Like I feel like that's it got deep. Maybe when the Saints won the Super Bowl, Katrina time frame, you just probably caught one of them detailed dope stories. But I feel like his story's been out there. Like I just don't remember it, but I feel like it's been out there. So
yeah, man. So definitely prayers up for that. And you know what I'm saying? That story,
all his family and friends, prayers up.
I mean, that story definitely hits close to home for, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, obviously he's a former Buckeye, helped us win the national championship over the Hurricanes. I just remember them like I remember the Hurricanes couldn't block him.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't block him.
No.
And I was
he
like.
He was Pro Bowl with the, I think his whole career he was with the Saints,
with the Saints.
But had a Pro Bowl year. Like, he was kind of like how you look at Bosa now. Yep. He kind of had that, like, yo, where's Will at?
Point him out. I mean, I just remember him blowing by, getting that sack on Dorsey, just causing havoc, helping shut down McGahee. You know what I'm saying? Him getting drafted. I was like, yeah,
that's probably the only game. If I turn past ESPN Classics and that thing is on, yeah, whatever I was about to go watch can wait. Like that's my favorite game. You know,
absolutely.
I look at it too because again, Will Allen, my high school friend, childhood friend. He the one that blew up McGahee's knee on that hit, and it's like
that's part of football,
yeah,
baby.
We
appreciate that hit.
It's like people don't realize how many big moments Will been a part of. Will was a part of that Michigan interception.
Had the interception versus UC like second week of the season.
Yeah, like he had some big moments for that run.
Had the interception at versus NC State. Yeah, man. Like you said, man, that's my era, man. Like that Tressel era, boy. I mean, I'm locked in now, but like that era right there, boy. Right.
I can remember like vivid moments. Yeah. So yeah, but definitely rest in peace though to him.
Absolutely,
for his family.
Man, absolutely. And good news, they caught the alleged dude. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
I saw an article too I want to touch on real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know how I saw it just this morning. It's an article going around saying that Samuel L. Jackson has put out an article saying that he's moving to Dayton. And he's tired of the like Hollywood lifestyle and the times he's been to Dayton. It was like a Dayton, or it was like a channel, like a news article.
Really?
And I saw it shared probably 15, 20 times this morning, but he's been to Dayton a few times. He feels the people are real. He feels there's problems everywhere, but he just is tired of the fakeness of Hollywood and he wants to just move to Dayton, Ohio area. I'm like,
maybe so that him and Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, right. You might be in Yellow Springs. You might, Dayton area is far stretched wide. Like,
right. Might see him at the Cheesecake Factory on a good Saturday.
And you're going to be riding with Dave Chappelle therapy for the soul foods.
Think about that. Samuel L. Jackson, classic movies. Shoot, you've been in, what? Juice.
Oh yeah.
Do the Right Thing. Obviously Avengers. I'm
about to look this
Mo
up.
Better Blues. Basically every Spike Lee movie. Imagine that, man. You know what I'm saying? You out at the Green and you see Sam Jackson chilling. Like, you know what I'm saying? This Dayton, Ohio, so you know what I'm saying? We don't see like superstars of that ilk like that, man.
Yeah, the article was posted by DaytonNews11.com. So I'm not sure if that's Channel 22, I'm not sure, but his article is Samuel L. Jackson explains why he's moving in Dayton, Ohio. So,
hey, well, welcome.
Yeah, stop by the station.
Yeah, swing through, man. We can definitely kick it with Sam Jack, man. That'd be quality, man. That'd be
also,
dope.
man. Are we gonna touch on to that?
Yeah, go ahead, because you found it out. You sent it to me. I was waiting for you to bring it up.
I saw what interesting reply to the homie Celis's revenge track. I saw some people put out a video that looked pretty thorough. I remember a few of those faces from my Club Cream and Club Evolution and all those days. So shout out to all the homies, man. I hope y'all keep it peaceful.
Yes, keep it absolutely
hope
peaceful.
Y'all just, I don't mind the talking shit verses. Like,
right.
You can say fuck them and then, however you want to handle your verse. It's just like, it's enough going on in Dayton, man. We don't need a war out here. You know?
Right.
Everybody knows everybody, man.
Right. The name of the track is "Respect Your Elders," man. So definitely look it up on YouTube, man.
Yeah, that looked like it was. It looked like it was a response. To say the
it was
least.
definitely a response, and I mean, it's been other responses out there, but I think this is the one that's really making waves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, we talked about this last week, but you need that. Hip hop culture needs that. You know what I'm saying? And as like you said, as long as it's kept peaceful and kept on wax or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, you know. And why not let a older head, you know what I'm saying, speak his piece?
Yeah. If you wanna dive back in, you know, and hey.
Yeah, why not?
Like that's back to the topic we was talking about, just music. Like I feel like what I didn't get to say on that other topic was when I get older, I'm still want to listen to rap music.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm still gonna listen to the Motowns and all those things that we was brought up on. Those are still gonna be a part of my life. But it's like everybody has that moment in the car where you just want to rock in the seat and turn up by yourself, like you just, you know, and you know some of this new music, you know, you can get into like that. There's still some new music out there. It's like I'm not gonna grow out of rap.
Right, never.
I'm not gonna get tired of hip hop or rap. So it's like we're gonna have to embrace some of this stuff. You know, you can always, you know, we had Milli Vanilli, we had some people back in the day that didn't deserve their moments, you know, so definitely a lot of one-hit wonders out there.
Oh, yeah, man. Shout out to the one-hit
I'm
wonders.
afraid, though, music is going there.
You think so?
Man, try to get paid for the summer real quick.
Shoot, I mean.
In and out.
We brought up the Silento Kid. I mean, we're still waiting for the second song.
Yeah.
I mean.
There's nothing that have been. That next push is never as strong.
Yeah.
And if it is, it's like, then you've made it. That's all you really
I
need.
heard Memphis hit the Quan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're still waiting for the next song.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, I mean.
There's a couple out there that's, you know, could be local favorites, you know, local hub favorites as far as this region or that region, but nothing that's really
sticking.
Yeah, that gives you that next push. So.
Yeah, man. That's probably like the big, like, I remember. When we was coming up, it wasn't always the first album, because always your first album always got hits on deck, but it's like that second album. Yeah. Now we talking about a second single being like, that's scary.
Yeah, very. The only album I remember really that 50 Get Rich or Die Trying, man. That was I was just getting deployed in Iraq when that came out. I was deployed February 2003, and that's right when that came out, because I remember that, like, that's just one of the moments in life you don't forget.
Right.
But every song on that album, man, I could
classic.
I still in the club find a reason to touch one of them songs. You know, whether it be early, whether it be late. There's just some songs I gotta get in rotation. So,
shoot, what's your favorite joint off there? Because I already know mine. Mine is easy.
I think I like Mini Man for real.
Mini Man.
I like Mini Man. I like man. There's all of them. I like what's the one?
My favorite joint is Back Down.
Yeah,
that's my favorite joint on there. And we was talking about. I was talking to my brother about disc records. I was like, man, Back Down is up there with disc records of all time, man.
Yeah,
like that's that's Ja little bitch ass screaming out loud.
Right.
Southside motherfucker. That's just how I get down. I mean, you're never gonna sell Mitsubishi Tie Crack Child. I mean, them dad's boys suck. They no good. I ain't never heard a nigga say they like them in the hood. I'm back better than ever. I'm feeling myself. That's joint, man. I gotta make sure I got that on my phone. Yeah,
that's
what up, Fifth.
That's what I'm
Send
afraid.
Send a nigga some effing.
I'm afraid music ain't gonna be like this for my kids, man. I'm gonna feel like they gonna just be able to like, yo, you remember that Watch Me Whip? And it's like some of that stuff is gonna be forgotten. Like, it ain't gonna be around long enough to really have an impact or really stick. Like,
I think the whip. I think that's gonna be like how at NBA games, whenever it's a jump ball, jump.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be like one of those songs, like,
or it's gonna turn into like the Macarena at a wedding.
Yeah, it's gonna be something
or the Cupid Shuffle. You know, it's just gonna turn into
culture, or not even culture. Especially that Whip and Nene, man. That song crossed over. I mean, you seen people out every news reporter, webcast, or whatever.
That's when you know something's crazy, when it's like, I mean, people from all over the world, not just the States. You have people in every country, man, just YouTubing videos, it's like, yo, how does that wave
Like,
blow up? Like, what is that? That's the ultimate just, yo, what the fuck just happened?
yeah. And I mean, you know, I really, really, truly hope that Homeboy capitalized every single penny off of that damn song.
Yeah.
Because like you said, man, like there's been no follow up. Like
he's put out a couple tracks, but it's nothing's
sticky.
Yeah. Nothing's working. So
That's like it's crazy, man. Shoot. Okay. Another more tragic news. Well, not tragic news, good news, I would say. John Crawford.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna what's the guy's name? He's from Fairborn, right?
Yeah, the guy that made the 911
Made the
call.
911 call, man. They're gonna probable cause for making false statements. So obviously he could face 6 months in jail and $1,000 fine. Obviously, remind the people about John Crawford, would you please?
Yeah, John Crawford was a young man that was in one of our area suburbs of Dayton, Ohio's Walmart. Looks like he was shopping for some things. Must have either saw a gun out like anybody has ever been in a Kmart back in the day or how
Right.
whatever. Must have thought that was something he wanted to mess around with. People got scared. 911 was called. Cops came in, unfortunately shot the man and killed him.
Yeah, man. So they're gonna bring homeboy Ronald Richie up on charges, man.
Yeah, I think that inducing panic is definitely because the one thing I didn't get a chance to do this week that I wanted to, because I'm a big news watcher, read the paper kind of guy. So reading that story, it's like I want to hear that 911 call again, because it's like, was he in a place to where he could tell he just grabbed the gun out? You know, like did it get, how early in the process was
Right.
it? Was he really following him around? Is there some store footage?
Right.
If you can catch me stealing some Skittles, you should be able to follow a guy that thinks he's following a guy with a gun. You know,
Right.
So-
Absolutely. I think a lot of that still goes on, you know, the police department and their actions when they get there, because, you know, when you get on a scene and like, you know, if you watch the tape, and I watched it, and I haven't watched it since the first time I saw
Right.
it, 'cause I just was just sickened by it. You know, you just see him, and then goes around the corner, and you see him fall.
Mhm.
It just seems, just from that point of view, man, it's like, I understand that police officers are out there, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of dangerous things going on out there. But like you said, man, this is in one of the suburbs of Dayton, Ohio, man.
Right.
Like, most things y'all doing is catching kids boosting from
Yeah,
the mall.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Just trying to sneak in the movies.
Yeah, this
You know?
ain't popping on the west side of Dayton. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, let's just be real about it. So, you know what I'm saying? Just the urgency to end someone's life so fast, so quick, so abruptly. Like,
That's my biggest thing. I really wonder how information gets passed on. You know, like I've done some workshops, and you know, my days where, you know, they might start with a secret that you have to, you know, pass down a line of people, and by the time it got to the 30th person, it wasn't the same way as it started. You know, I wonder, is communication for some of these things, are they adrenaline rushing? He got a gun, I see him, he dead. You know, or is it like suspect could be drunk, suspect could have a mop? You know, like,
right.
does it have to be that hardcore of a thought process for someone to be under pressure? Because, you know, coming from a medical side of things, I was a medic in the Army, paramedic school here around town, and it's like I've been on some scenes and got to see some things where it's like you don't have a lot of time to make a decision. You like you got a few seconds to make a decision that could impact this person's life for the rest of their life.
Right.
So
yeah.
you don't have time to call the doctor back and say, what's that one thing we when you have a lung that's been punctured, like you don't have time to ask them questions. You gotta just go with what you've been training on. So it's definitely, I feel for some of these policemen that have to, for one, that's just every day. It's like that has to be just a super stressful occupation.
Absolutely.
You know, every day you hoping you get to come back home. You doing, it's like the military for me. When Iraq, it's like it's you or me. Like I'm trying to get back. You know?
Right.
So it's like I'm trying to get home, and some of these decisions you got to make at a split moment. But some of these decisions they making, they on a run of just horrible decisions.
Yeah, and that's the thing I was gonna ask you
decisions,
about.
man.
There's
other ways to handle these situations, like the dude in New York that got choked out,
Right.
and like
it just seems like, man, like, is it we just have so much coverage now and this has been a norm? Or is it, man, like these dudes is really out to get people? You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely that bunch. There's a bunch. I mean, we all know the one dude that we, feel like is a cool white dude.
Right.
You don't never think he would have those thoughts. The other white dudes we know that it's like, yo, he been around since the 40s and 50s. And his high school and young years, like, so this dude's 70, 80 years old, might feel another way about me.
Right.
So it's like, you never know what someone else, how they was brought up.
Right.
And you expecting them to change because of the times or where the world is now. You don't know what that person went through from 8 to 20.
It's funny you say that.
I think I look at it just from both levels because I'm mixed. So, like, I have some family members that definitely didn't approve of my mom having a mixed child when in 82. That definitely wasn't a hot topic then. It wasn't like it is now where it's just another baby being born. That was like a moment for a family to deal with, so some of the people weren't receptive to that. It is what it is, but some of my family, I know love me genuinely just for me. So I look at some of the, like when it's racial like that, I wonder, like, did this cop just make a bad decision? Or is this dude really just like, we don't give a fuck about them people.
Right.
They can just die. It's
funny you say that because my brother, he has we rag on him all the time because he always says, man, it's 2016, man. People need to get over that. And I always resort back to like, yeah, it's 2016. We all know it's 2016, but some people don't want it to be 2016. They want it to be like it was then and when they came up and they felt like things were better and safer then and they feel like this new America or whatever is a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When you watch this political stuff with Trump and all the people that's doing this, protesting and like it looks like, man, this is about to get really, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Right.
And like, to be honest with you, I was a fan of the ideal of Trump in the very beginning because I was a fan of a businessman running the country. See how the country always struggles with their money and their budgeting. Someone that's had successful in business, I thought was a great idea. About 2 days into that thought, it was like, yo, this dude is crazy. Like, they say rich people, they didn't get rich off of, doing what people say they should. So some people believe in what he doing, and it's like, yo, if that's what you believe in. It's like, yo, we really don't have nothing more to talk about.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we getting down to crunch time for the election too, man.
Yeah,
these
it's really about to get real. Like, I know people think the president don't make the decision. Got to go through Congress. Got to go through all that, and it's like he still has to represent the country. And we don't have a great history of having war on America land, and that's one thing people don't even think about. Like that rec center you go to could just be blown up in a second. Right. Your whole town is changed forever because war just happened above your town. Like you don't want them days here.
Right. And I mean,
I've seen it over there.
You can definitely speak to that because I mean, obviously you served in our military, and I mean, shoot, Dayton is a military town.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got a big Air Force base right up the street.
And it's an important Air Force base for the Air Force.
Right. And I can just remember, you know what I'm saying, you talked about when you deploy and everything. We talked about this before. This is off mic. But 9/11.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember that day so vividly, man. I was going into my senior year at Wright State. And you know what I'm saying? I was working at the library. You know what I'm saying? Life is good. I'm like, man, it's my last year. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my core classes. I'm good. Grades is on point. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to graduate, working at the library, income coming in. Life is good. Wake up. Look at the news like, what is that? Whatever. Start getting ready. Whatever. Not paying no attention, in my own world. And then I see the second plane hit the tower. Go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what is going on? So they canceling classes. They telling everybody to go home. Heard the sonic booms go off. Dude, I almost shit my pants, son. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like, what the fuck was that? I called my moms. My mom's was like, I want you to come home. And they like, damn, they're locked the campus down. It was crazy, dog.
So let me tell you the military story.
Yeah.
So
this one's good because I've heard this one before. This is good.
I joined the military March of 01, basic training in Fort Benning, Georgia. Then I did my job training in San Antonio. I didn't get to where I was stationed at, which was Fort Sill, Oklahoma, until August 24th of 2001. So I was brand new to the Army. I hadn't been there, 3 weeks? August to September 11th, like 3 weeks at most. I had been in the Army. And I'll skip the other hand. The September 10th, I had one of the most amazing nights in my life. We were 2 women for the first time. So it was a really late night, right? So that morning, I'm on like 2 hours of sleep, thinking I can go to PT, because it was push-up. It was like upper body day. We wasn't running.
Mm-hmm.
Get these push-ups and sit-ups in. Back to the room, catch me another hour and a half nap, be back to work at 9. Mm-hmm. So I go to PT. Everything's everything. I'm come home, take that nap. I'm like, forget breakfast. We'll eat later. Sleep is more important at this moment. So I get up about 8:15. Now, at that time, we stayed in the old school, how you would imagine like an old Army movie barracks.
Okay.
Like we had a community bathroom. So everybody had their own room, but we all shared a bathroom with like 8 showers in it, 10 sinks, one of those deals. So I got up, take a shower. I'm coming back to my room, and my dude had just bought like a 50-inch TV. At that time, that was like amazing. Like, what is this big TV in your room? I walk in the room, has the first plane that's hitting the World Trade Center. I look over there, I'm like, yo, what game is this? They all looking at me like, this is happening in real life. I'm like, I thought it was a video game. I'm like, cut it out. Everybody messing with me. I'm the new guy. I kind of just looked at it for a second, walked out, and I blew it off. So I go in my room, turn my TV on, and I'm like, oh, this is on the Today Show. Like, this is this is news. So it all happened, and we had to be there at 9. We all decided to just stay in the rooms. It was just chaos going on. People didn't know what the plan was. So they finally called us in. We sitting there doing nothing but watching the TV. So me and my homeboy was like, let's go to the Chinese spot. I'm sure it's dead right now. Like, we can go get this grub in real quick. So about 11, we dipped to go to the Chinese spot. Man, worst decision I ever made in my life. We go to the Chinese spot, we eat. I did not get back to my room until almost 10 p.m. that night. It took almost 10 hours to get probably the equivalent of like, we'll say 8 to 9 blocks.
Wow.
Like the gates were shut down. They wouldn't let nobody in military installations. Then they started to let car by car in after they did like extensive, like 10-minute searches on vehicles. It took forever. We was out there all day. So then that whole thing happened.
In Oklahoma.
Yeah. It just
hot as hell.
Yeah. People leaving their cars on the highway.
Wow.
Running to get on base. From September 12th until after Thanksgiving, they put us on guard duty with full gear, weapons, you name it, rotating around the communications building 7 days a week, 8 hours on, 16 hours off. And you rotated between first, second, and third shift. So 1 week you did first, 1 week you did second, 1 week you did third shift. 7 days. That was my introduction to the Army.
Now, I know this part too, but you know what I'm saying? Why did you go into the Army?
Yes.
This is the other good part.
So a friend of mine, I worked at the Salem Mall, and I kind of got being tired of the dude everybody came home to see. All my friends was going to Oxford, Miami of Ohio, or going to Cincinnati or Ohio State. I had friends. I'm like, yo, then they'll have their Christmas break or home. Something they'll come home for real quick, and they be hitting me up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, I'm not going to be this guy that's just the homebody where everybody else is having a great time in college. So he was telling me about football. He was talking about he met a recruiter who was going to possibly get him an audition or a tryout for the Army football team, the college Army football team. So I'm going just literally just to support him. Hear about it. I didn't really play football in high school, but I could. I was just a band geek. Band was more important to me than sports in some degree. So I'm listening to it, and he takes the ASVAB test. I take it. I'm going. I'm like, I'm doing it just to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Not really planning on going. I take it. I pass it. He fails the test.
I told you it gets good.
Next thing I know, I'm sitting with a lady picking from like a page of like 15 jobs. And so I'm like, I need a second. I call my mom, like, I'm reading off the list. It's like police, it's, supplies, so this, and one was a medic. My mom's the nurse. I'm like, I think I'm going to pick, oh, yeah. So before this, though, the first time you go take the test, all that, you swear in. So you swearing in, like, it's not officially a swearing, but you're sworn into your commitment to be here in 3 weeks to go off. So that's when my mom found out that I did all this. So I came home and was like, I'm leaving in 3 weeks for basic training.
Hey, by the way.
Yeah, during dinner, spaghetti, broccoli, like a regular night, By the way, I'm leaving in 3 weeks to go to the Army. So her brother's Air Force. We have cousins and family Air Force, but no one was Army. I think that was the mixed side in me being different in my family. Anyway, I want to do something different. So I went to the Army. So you go back in 3 weeks, pick your job, like I just said, you swear in again. And you literally have to decide on this job like now. They're like pressuring you to like, come on, we don't have all day, son. Like, what are you going to pick? I'm calling my mom like, I'm going to pick medic just because if I have questions, I can call you since you're a nurse. I got to go. Like, I'm going to be a medic, so. That's literally how that went down. And then you sleep overnight in Columbus, and then you're on that plane to Fort Benning.
Woo!
And my introduction to Fort Benning, just imagine a hot, humid Georgia day, and this dude on the bus, he's 6'8", 270, black as hell, just looked like he done killed everything in sight in your face.
Real Terminator.
Yeah,
nigga.
like, get the fuck off my bus. Like, you like, what the fuck? Why are you so angry? We just got here. Like, they trying to they break you down. Like, call home crying probably the 5th day. Like, y'all know what I signed up for, but this ain't for me. But they break you down to build you up. And then, from there on, man, it's a great ride. Like, I friends all over the U.S. that I can go, kick it with, chop it up with. Never out of town and not know nobody. Like, so that's dope. So it's definitely a experience for all you young people out there if you want to challenge the military.
All I remember is in high school, they would have recruiters up there, man, and I would be like, like,
Yeah.
Like, cause you know what I'm saying?
And
we all
me.
got that uncle.
That was me. It's like, yeah, no way.
We all got that uncle that's a little off, and they was in it, and I was like, nah, this ain't my way. It's like, well, how you gonna pay for it? Like, man, I got a scholarship. It's like, scholarship ain't gonna pay for everything. I got a job.
Right.
Like, I had my answers locked and loaded.
See, that was me.
Dog.
But I look back at so many things that I got to do in the military, and then like some of the positions and things that I've done that might have caused harm to my body, I get compensated for. So some of those things allowed me to, for a moment there when Club Cream was packed and Michael's and that realm of just Dayton nightlife, I could really just DJ and still have my bills paid with, my disability money so it's like, it was dope to be able to chase that dream and commit to it and not have to worry about, I gotta do this during the week too, because we need groceries. We need so
right.
That was a great time for me. I was able to just a good 3-year run where it was.
How long were you in the military?
4 years. I went from 01 to 05.
Okay. No re-up, huh?
Man, my options was back to Iraq or get out. And I had found out. See, this is why I think I had 3 daughters now. There was a girl. She worked in like the processing for the base. So like if people got orders to deploy, their office would be the ones to receive that information. So before even the commanders would find out, somebody's hands is on it.
Mm-hmm.
So me and her had a little fling going, a little after work, just relationship. And she kind of told me, she like, when are you out processing? I'm like, and this is another story, but I had a huge amount of days off saved up.
Mm-hmm.
So my actual out date was March 5th, and I got out January 20th because I had that much vacation days saved up. So if I didn't have those days, they got presented the orders like January 20 whatever. like a week later because I already had the orders to out process. They could have rejected my orders and made me stay.
Oh.
But they didn't.
Woo!
But that was definitely a conversation that was had with me and my commander. Like, you might have to pull your out process and you might have to come with us before you can get out. I'm like, man, I'll be an AWOL fool.
For real?
I'll be on the run because I wasn't going over there, man. It was your war is, especially as a medic, it sucks, bro. Like this,
only imagine.
you see things and you're a part of things that people are changed forever off of, and it's like I do not want to go over there and do that again.
Again, right? The word again.
Like the once was plenty.
And you know the crazy part about that, man. My brother, you know, he was looking into the military when he graduated from high school. Like I told you, he's 6 years older than me, and that's the whole reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got pretty good grades in school, and when he was about to go to the military, he much like yourself, he was in a position where, you know what I'm saying, they're rushing him to do this, rushing him to do it, swearing him in, all this stuff. He wasn't 17 at the time. He was only 17 at the time. And technically, once you do that, you in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, and him and I have, like, horrible allergies, like grass, trees, anything, wool, like anything you put on your body, us, like, will break out in hives.
Right.
So he's checking off all these boxes or whatever. And he's like, hey, I got to call my mom. Because, you know, she knows that. Mom, like your mom, she's a nurse.
Yeah.
And he asked her this question, like, hey, am I allergic to this or whatever? And, of course, he didn't tell her why. It's like, yeah, why? It's like, oh, I'm filling out this paperwork. Like, oh, you get another job or something? You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, well, I'm thinking about going into the military. She's like, you're what? It's like, no, you not.
Right.
And she's like, well, I already swore in or whatever. And she's like, put them on the phone. One of them situations. And then the dude tells my mom's like, well, he's 17 because, like, this is in April. His birthday's in May. It's like, yo,
oh, yeah, he's right there.
You know what I'm saying? We have the blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they called my pops, and my pops was like, well, he grown. He can do what he want. If this is what he want to do, you know what I'm saying? If he don't want to go to school, what he going to do? Just sit around here and work at Long John Silver?
Like, hey, he chasing something.
Like, you got to do something. He can't just sit here and do nothing. And she was like, nope, he ain't going. And all I can remember about myself was like, man, my brother about to go to the military. And then I remember him coming home. I was like, so what's up? Like, you go, I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm thinking I was probably like 11, 12. Like, yo, you about to be like a G.I. Joe or whatever? It's like, hell no. Like, man, don't ever do that. Like, ever.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That some of that process, man, you look at like, yo, what the hell was I thinking? Why am I, man, I can remember days of they having us out in thunderstorms, doing sit-ups on muddy hills, crawling. Like, just some of the things that you go through in the military is like, I did not sign up for this. Like, this ain't Vietnam. Like, we not on that no more. Like, we got computers, we got joysticks we can fire at people now. Like, it's not like that, but you still gotta know how to survive in that, and you gotta know how to. And some of those lessons you learn, man, like, you know, it's dope to feel like if need be, I can survive for a second. I know some tactics that are helpful in me surviving these situations.
Right,
you know?
absolutely. I mean, it also has to be a great sense of accomplishment because, I mean, I'm sure there's people that you enroll with that chuck the deuces.
Oh, man, there's two stories. The one I was getting ready to tell you was there was a guy who, the night that we were sleeping in Columbus at the MEP station before you depart.
Oh, this is beforehand.
This is like after we all done did all the paperwork, your job, you just waiting for your 4 a.m. wake up to go to the airport for your flight. You just sleeping overnight. This dude, he was my roommate. I didn't know what service he was going to because it's all different services. Everybody's going everywhere. He got up at like 1 a.m. like, I'm not doing this, bro. Nice to meet you. Walked out. Like, made a run for it. Made a run, like, because he was like, like, you don't have no car. You know, you just there. You might have a credit card or some cash or a debit card. You ain't got ain't no Uber. It's 2001.
Right.
You got to make a decision. So that's one story. And then the other one I can remember. When we got orders, is a good friend of mine, and I think about him all the time, bro. He was a really good friend. We hooped together after work. chase the same chicks, same group of chicks. Like, we was just kicking it together. He's from Memphis, man. We got them orders to go to war. It's like the movies where they call you to formation, do a count, make sure everyone's present, and they read off, like, from the President of the United States, order number, and they read it to you like, this unit will be deploying to Operation Iraqi Freedom in the dates. And it's like, yo, we got orders to go to war. He reading this shit. We standing in attention like, what the fuck? You know, like, this really about to happen. Bro, he looked at me right when it was all done. He's like, bro, I'm gone. That day, bro, he stayed probably 2 rooms down from me. That night, he would load his car up all night with all his stuff, loading up his stuff. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, bro? He's like, I'm not going to war, I'll tell you that. Like, I ain't signed up for this, man. I'm trying to get the school money. Like, and that's kind of what I was on.
Right.
Like, get this GI Bill and get out. Anyway, if war wasn't in the forecast, I probably would have stayed because I was, adapted to that life.
Mm-hmm.
But I really joined just to get this school money.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, I did the same thing, but you can't just be AWOL. Like, your life would be fucked up. He's like, hey, I'm trying to be a street nigga then because this is just, like, he was really on it. Like, I'm gone. And drove off into the night. I've never heard or seen this dude again.
Are you serious?
I've looked him up. He ain't on social media. Like, I spend the time to Google this man. Like he nowhere to be found, bro. Like, if you ain't on social media at this point, it's like you have to have it. You can even have the page just with your name on it to show you alive. Like people have those pages they don't even use, and they just regular don't even use social media. So
yeah, think about that. We was talking about technology. Think about this. Like, I know it was monster.com like back in the day. Like, they got the new one. I forget what it's called. But anyway, like, you looking for a job now. Like, it's not you
like
walk into a building. LinkedIn.
Yeah.
You don't walk into a building and fill out an application. All that stuff is online, man.
Everything I did to get hired at the VA was online.
Online.
And I have been applying on USA Jobs. That's like the government website of choice for, you can look for jobs in any state. All Department of Defense or Department of, government jobs will be on there. But you apply online, they'll tell you this. They'll send you an email a week later. We got your resume. Thanks for applying. You'll get an email in 3 weeks. You're getting processed. Kind of like give you updates. And then all of a sudden you get a phone call like, we want to have an interview with you. It's like, but I was doing that for 5 years.
Right.
It took me forever to get a reply back.
I mean, it's hard work to be off the grid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You have to try.
Like,
people don't, your bank online. Like, there's times where I can move money to this account and that account where I don't even have to go to the bank for nothing. Mm-hmm. I can just put it over here and then use this debit card for a little bit. Or, I can move money here for this week or that week. So
that's crazy. You ain't seen heard from since 2001.
I have not seen this man since formation. That night when you packed this car up, bro, imagine like your homie that you just would walk to the rec center with to go hoop after a night of college, or, like just that group of friends. Like, he was just the homie. We played Madden. We went out together, hollered at chicks, partied 6 months in, because we got orders probably middle of like 2002, because they give you like a year. They gave us like a year to go train here and train there, because this particular unit I was in was put together by President Bush, and they were strictly there to find weapons of mass destruction. Mm-hmm. So we had special forces, we had all branches of the military, we had scientists, we had it was like a dope. We were just their support for this like really dope unit. They had New York Times reporters, like the whole shebang, but we were their support, so we were their the medical needs, their supply needs, their cooking, like all that stuff. We were just their support, but we got to see they was doing some really dope, like EOD, like explosives. Like, I got to do the whole MacGyver thing with the 10-foot antenna and the one button with the glass over it, and you push it, and it's like fire in the hole, like all that tanks exploding. Like, we got to blow up a lot of dope stuff. So definitely got to experience a lot with it, but it's one of them things, man, where you got to either be ready to adapt to it, or you're going to spend a life on the run. Because, AWOL and nothing to, you ain't getting no loans, you ain't getting no...
I just thought
you
about
ain't getting no job.
he's absolutely right.
It's like a
that's
warrant.
the only option to be a street nigga because they ain't gonna be like, all right, man, I'm gonna just go to Tennessee State.
Right, you can't have nothing in your name. You gotta have these chicks having phones. Like that's a life that you just gotta be.
I got 2
right
phones
for real. Like that's
nuts, man.
I hope you're doing all right, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going on 15 years almost now. So
man. Well, there it is, man. Episode 2 in the books, man.
Yeah, man. You can't make this shit up.
You cannot,
Kev Nash,
man.
DJ Killa Kev. We appreciate y'all. Share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. And,
man. Come back next week for another episode. We gonna keep the stories rolling with Killa Kev and his Army stories, man, because these is off the hook, man. Like that was I knew the other one, but I ain't know about your homeboy on the run.
Real quick, like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's one of the jokes about my name being Killa Kev, because people ask me, have I ever killed somebody in the military? That's always like a personal question someone asks you. And it's like, I have, but not in the way you think. But it's like I had to run over people, like in Iraq. I had to so we can get to that next week. I had to run over people, but so the killer part is like a little play on like I'm a killer because I actually have. Now I'm not bragging about it, but like it's a part of me. But then it's like Kev, so it's like
there it
I'm
is,
killer
man.
during the weekends, Kev during the weekdays.
Hey man, and in the business, that's what we call a hook. We got you hooked to hear next week's story, man.
So
about how Killa Kev became a killer.
You're definitely gonna get into that. So.
You can't make this shit up. Episode 2. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.